All right, guys, here we are, 4 weeks from Chicago, 4 weeks from June 21st. Um, the right hand super heavyweight world title will be defended by Levon Sagnashvili once again against Hermes Gasparini. I thought that this would be a wonderful afternoon, as I, postpone packing to watch this classic. This is the first time that they met. This was for a world title. A very, very significant match. And, with what they have coming up, I see that they're both in their best shape. Hermes has been cranking out perfect lifts. He's come a long way since he pulled Levon last. He's had, a great record, only losing once. And several probably reasons why he lost that match. And now coming in a much improved position against Levon, who has continued to just destroy everyone in his path. Are unquestionably the most dominant super heavyweight arm wrestler that the sport of arm wrestling has seen. I remember watching this match, when it was taking place, and already it's like, wow, it is on. And you see Bill Collins there raise his eyebrows. He's like, because he knows what he sees. He sees a pretty neutral slip round one, which is very telling. The rule, all slips go to straps, but that's a pretty neutral slip. And it's interesting to note that what we're watching here is King of the Table. And the King of the Table rules for the newer viewers has changed, okay? Like the way that the fouls and the rounds go in King of the Table is slightly different from the King of the Table rules used today and the East versus West rules, which so many people are familiar to. 1-0 for Levon Sagnashvili. Very cleanly done. But it's still already impressive from Hermes. You have to remember, Levon has been like a monster and untouchable since 2017. So any stop, any slowing down even is considered to be pretty awesome by the arm wrestling community. Like if you even slow down Levon, it's like, okay, what was that? That's the dude is really on a level that is still uncharted. Okay, we still don't know exactly how strong Levon is. Um, but this upcoming match, so much more interesting. Levon has kind of vowed to kind of erase all the questions put forward from this match. And the truth is there were a lot. Like when this match happened, there were a lot of questions. There were a lot of discussions. Hermes, Hermes' performance here really was amazing. And the match actually was thrown under heavily scrutiny. It was heavily debated, by people who really are crazy about arm wrestling, like the dissection of the rules and the rule set used. And you see Hermes doing so good, really freezing up Levon. Levon playing it cool, still got levels. There's still levels. But, in the hand-to-hand structure, which is really what Hermes is kind of trying to do here in these first two rounds, he's trying to do something with his hand and more of an open top, and he can't seem to kind of get a bite there. Uh, Hand versus hand, which is these first two rounds, first two victories from Levon. Levon is proving to just be much too much. And so here we are. This is kind of the beginning of what makes their match, their relationship so interesting. Round three, okay? Round three is a very, very important round between these guys the first time they met. This is one of the reasons why Levon is coming in such good shape, and one of the reasons why he's seems to be super angry, okay? And you can look at the hand structure, you can look at the body structure. Levon is a gorilla, okay? Levon is not normal at all right? Hermes is not a small human being either, okay? But when you meet Levon in person, I mean, the camera here doesn't really do it justice. He's quite unique. Bill Collins doing a great job here. Um, right, so just coming over Georgian's side, they're calling for the win. But the truth is if you slip out at any point, it does go to the strap. So um, this is where things start to get very interesting. You see now, standard rule is when the elbow comes up, they call a foul, the match stops. Okay, running foul system, you can't get out of matches so easily. A lot of the leagues use a running foul system. It was this round in this match, particularly for me, which really highlights one of the reasons to have running fouls. Um, and what we saw here would have looked potentially very different. Potentially. And it's not because of this match that I say I'm for running fouls. It's nothing like that. I just think that as an athlete, if you are fouled against, you should retain all your rights. If you don't commit an offense, you should retain your rights to stay in a match. And you should not lose your opportunity to win if you have not committed any grievances. Interestingly here, you see, you see Levon tries to come in and make it a shoulder pressing situation, but for whatever reason he backs off. You know, hand versus hand, Levon is completely just folding up Ermey's hand, but somehow Ermey's arm is holding up in the battle, and he's able to get it in. And now we are in a floppers press versus a top roll situation where Levon has lost control of his shoulder. Right. So, again, wonderful place for a running foul. Everything could have changed right there if that match was allowed to continue. You know, I think much better. Now, if you are fouled against, you absolutely have the right to just lift your elbow and start the match. Yeah.
Sorry, which car can I take tonight?
Whichever one.
I'm going to Calgary's. Doesn't matter?
I don't care. Yeah. Hey, have fun. I'll come and see you before.
Like in Adonis?
No. When are you leaving?
Now.
Okay, I'll give you a call.
When do you get back from Texas?
Sunday.
Well, that's quick. Like now next Sunday.
Sunday coming up. Yeah, 1 week. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, have a good week.
Yeah, see you, Mal. I love you. Apologies. So this is the round that changed everything. So locking back up. And so we saw that if the rules had been different right there, now we're already in a very interesting situation. So a lot of people who arm wrestle a lot and understand like the differences in arm wrestling, understand that this can look very different. You can also say that that's Ermey's second foul, and that it wouldn't have happened under new rule systems anyways because we use a two foul rule system. Once again stopped. Bill Collins pushing the people back. I don't know why Levon cannot stand up and press this. Right? So this is where the match got really exciting. Third round, we're in a two foul situation. Running foul situation where Ermey's has flopper's shoulder against top roll. I wish we could have gotten to see the finish there. Running foul would have forced a pin to occur or a foul out to happen. Which to me, I think that's what I as a fan want to see, and I know it's what I also want as a competitor. Um, I hope one day that they fix that. Yeah. Um, that's why there's doubts, and that's why this is going to be so interesting when they meet up again here in 4 weeks. I remember at the time thinking, I was just so impressed. Yeah. Kind of missed felt like he didn't really get a good set, kind of let Levon kind of tee off on him there. Kind of just let Levon kind of smoke him. Uh, Interesting round. Round three was very, very interesting. Um, a hard battle, a hard fight, very difficult. You know, yeah, Levon coming through. The hand-to-hand dominance is very significant. Levon's hand very dominant over Ermi's. Somehow, at this point, the arm was still coming into play. Interesting to think. They both should be stronger. The odds on ArmBet are still having Levon as the favorite to win 4 in a row. All that Hermes has to do is win one round, and he would win the stakes. He would win. I remember being so surprised already. When you go off just the facts of the match, it's a very interesting match. So right now, Levon leads 3-0. But to me, this has already been a very interesting match. Oh, so close. So close. So close. Yeah. And when you see something like that, you're like, yeah, right. It's too good. It's really, really good. And you can see the relief in Levon's eyes there as he is now, retained his title, gone 4-0. Once again, the guy is he's just beaten top contender after top contender 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. And that is what it is on paper. But the truth is about this match, like a lot of fans throw out a lot of question marks about this match because of round three, because of the rules. The rules were perfectly enforced by Bill Collins. He did a great job. Okay, but the rules actually, if they were running fouls, that changes it very, very significantly. And this is what's interesting now as well, because since this event, we haven't really been going past. For the most part, when you see one elbow foul on Hermes, when you see arm wrestling, once they get their win, they pretty much stop. But in King of the Table, they would do all 6 rounds regardless. There's a few leagues that will do it like that. Okay, round 5. Now this is the last piece, which makes it so interesting once again. Because yes, on paper 4-0, and I believe 4-0, and I say that you have to go by the results and everything on the day 4-0. But if you're a dreamer, you can say that it was 2-1 and then 3-1, because if somehow the rules had been different, maybe you could find a reason to argue that Hermes was still in it. And then with this round just as interesting. Even more interesting, actually. Again, flop versus top, with Levon not able to get his shoulder behind. So interestingly, why he does not want to get his shoulder behind, I don't know why. And you can see Levon trying to get it in, opening, and you can see he was on his way. He was on his way, it looked like. And that was where all the questions were. If you could believe that this was a 3-1, if you could believe that this was a 3-1, then this could be a 3-2. And I believe that this is almost the very end of the match, because after this, things get even more interesting. Oh no, it's still going. My mistake. My mistake. My mistake. I remember poorly. I remember poorly. So, hey, I'm upstairs on. And you see the tone changing a little bit. You know, technically on paper, Levon has already won. He's already secured the victory. No point to go on. Okay, see ya. Have a good one. I'll go into his almost for the weekend. What happened in this match, huh? Everything could have been different. If there were running fouls, everything would have been different. It would have been 3-1, 2-1, 3-1. This would have been 4-2, 3-2. 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, with Levon's arm hitting the pad. And then after that came all of this. The water. Oh, ads. After that came the water splash. Let's see that again. Let's see that. Let's see that water splash.
Back pressure, he has better pronator protection. If he goes for a flop risk, he can just get eaten up straight away. So I believe the strategy he's using is very good.
Arm wrestling, and there is the gladiator. Levon.
Here we go. That's the best part. Come on, man. Don't be splashing Levon like that. Those Georgians are spicy, I'm telling you. They're wild people. Yeah. And yeah, then comes... Yeah. That's it. So we are 4 weeks out today. I still have Levon as the heavy favorite. I do. But I'm terrible at calling matches. I'm terrible. And we've seen from Hermes in the past that he can do it. And I think he's coming in prepared. Anyways, what do I care? I got a guy with 192 IQ.